YouTube, Quinn Wade, coming to y'all with that instant analysis on the Phoenix Suns defeating the Los Angeles Clippers. We're going to talk about how that 125-119 game ended up happening. But the Clippers, they fall to 2-3. The Suns improved to 4-1, even though they got off to a tough start because the Clippers really was hot, especially Norman Powell in that first half, 37-20 in the first quarter. And the Clippers also beat them in the second quarter, 33-32. The third quarter where Devin Booker and Royce O'Neal and Kevin Durant got a little bit of fire behind them, especially from the 3 point line. They was able to finish 39-23 over the Clippers, and then that fire that was ignited was able to continue on to the fourth quarter where they outscored the Clippers 34-26. Kevin Durant didn't have the biggest game tonight. He only had 18 points, -2 and plus minus one personal foul. He had four turnovers. He did have two blocks and one steal, four assists, five rebounds. He was 2 of 3 from the free throw line, 2 of 4 from three, and 7 of 13 from the field. He wasn't really ball hogging. He was fitting into the offense, picking and choosing his spots, trusting his teammates, just being a great team player tonight. And even though he didn't have it going, he was still efficient. And you would be surprised that he only took 13 shots, but it's true. And he only had four threes. But Dunn had 16 points. He was plus 11 and plus minus. He did have five personal fouls, but he finished with 34 minutes. He had one steal, four rebounds, one that was offensive out of that. He was 4 of 9 from the 3 point line and 6 of 12 from the field. Yusuf Nurkic was able to get double figures in points. He had 11. He was plus 11 and plus minus, two personal fouls, three turnovers, two assists, three rebounds, 4 of 4 from the free throw line, 1 of 2 from the 3 point line, 3 of 6 from the field. Jones was able to get that 11 assists. He only had one turnover, which was absolutely ridiculous because he was making the right reads and he was making the right decision with the ball, and he knew when to give up the ball, and they was able to continue to push the pace. He had 7 points, plus 12, and plus minus three personal fouls, one turnover. He had three rebounds, 1 of 4 from the 3 point line, 3 of 8 from the field. Devin Booker was the reason why they was able to get back into this game, besides Kevin Durant and Royce O'Neal, because of his 13 of 15 free throw attempts. And he also was 5 of 9 from three, and he continued it over into the fourth quarter too, where he was also finishing at the game at 11 of 18 from the field. He also had 8 assists and five rebounds. One of those was offensive. He also had three steals. Royce O'Neal just scored at the top of the key or in the corner. Wherever he was at, he was making all his threes. He only missed one tonight, 5 of 6 from the 3 point line, 7 of 8 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, one assist, seven rebounds, one was offensive, one steal, one block, three personal fouls, -7 plus minus. Plumlee, 3 of 7 from the field, 2 of 4 from the free throw line, six rebounds, four was offensive, two steals, one block, two turnovers, three personal fouls, 8 points. Um, Number four, don't want to butcher his name. 101 from the field, one rebound, one was offensive, one personal foul, -3 plus minus 2 points. Morris only played 3 minutes and he only took one shot, which he did miss. He didn't do anything else at besides that -11 and plus minus. Grayson Allen was 1 of 8 from the field. He was 0 of 5 from three. He did have five rebounds, three assists, four steals, one personal foul, -1 and plus minus 2 points. Everybody else did not play coach's decisions, and other guys was injured, which we knew going into this game. The Suns finished 42 of 82, 51% from the field, 18 of 39, 46% from three, and 23 of 28, 82% from the free throw line. When you got a team shooting this well from the field, in from three, in from the free throw line, it's going to be real tough to beat this team when they're able to do that, especially for three straight quarters. But the Clippers allowed it, and it wasn't really anything that they can do once they started catching their confidence and letting that thing go is all they was doing. Even if it was a shot that was open, even if it was a shot that got a hockey assist, they was moving the ball, finding guys, attacking early, pushing the pace, and the Clippers just couldn't hang with them for the whole 48 minutes. The rebounds, they had 39, 29 assists, 12 steals, 4 blocks, 12 turnovers, and 20 of personal fouls against them. And the Clippers, Jones Jr. again with 11 points. It's good to see him keep getting in double figures. -6 and plus minus five personal fouls, three steals, two assists, three rebounds, one of his offensive, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 1 of 3 from the 3 point line, 4 of 10 from the field. Zubac, 22 points, 12 rebounds, five of them was offensive. He had negative 11 plus minus, one personal foul, two turnovers. He did have one steal, one assist. He was 4 or 5 from the free throw line and 9 or 10 from the field. They have done a real good job of giving Zubai deep catches that he can just finish with ease. And obviously, he just rebounding and just doing a great job of staying in position, being able to jump high and catch the ball at a good base so he doesn't turn it over for the most part. And he just does a good job of rolling to the rim and being at the right spot at the right time and taking full advantage of it when he does get the ball. And that's what you would like to see him continue to do. James Harden, 8 of 19 from the field. He was 3 of 10 from three and 6 of 7 from the free throw line. He had 10 rebounds and 13 assists, so a triple double because he also had 25 points. He did have two steals and two blocks. He had six turnovers. Some of them were just flat out bad. Dribbling to the paint with nowhere to go, passing balls where he shouldn't be, not putting enough force in the passes so they're easy to pick off, and then showing exactly where you're trying to pass to so the defense is already prepared for the pass. And it's just crazy that he always kind of been that way as a passer and as a ball handler and as a decision maker, and sometimes he does it at the worst times too. Two personal fouls, negative two and plus minus 25 points. Terrence Mann was 4 of 8 from the field, got his little fadeaway on KD tonight, 0 2 from three. 4 rebounds, three was offensive, two assists, one steal, three personal foul, 8 points. And Powell was 9 of 21 from the field. He was 4 of 11 from three. Hit their last three to cut the lead to be a little bit more respectable, even though he didn't really have to do that. But it helped him finish with over 20 tonight. 1 to 2 from the free throw line, two rebounds, two assists, one steal, two turnovers, one personal foul plus four plus minus. Batum, 3 points, negative four and plus minus, two personal fouls, one turnover, four blocks, three assists, five rebounds, one of offensive, two, 1 of 3 from the 3 point line, 1 of 4 from the field. Jones, 0 of 1 from the field, two rebounds. One of them was offensive, one block, one turnover, plus three and plus minus. Coffee, 7 points, negative five and plus minus, three personal fouls, one rebound, 2 of 3 from the free throw line, 1 of 1 from the 3 point line, 2 of 3 from the field. Chris Dunn, 6 points, plus one and plus minus, three personal fouls, two assists. He did have four rebounds, three of them was offensive, 2 of 2 from the 3 point line, 2 of 5 from the field. And Porter Jr., 6 of 12 from the field. He was 0 of 3 from the 3 point line, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, five rebounds, one of was offensive out of that. Two assists, one block, two turnovers, two personal fouls, negative 10 and plus minus 14 points. He was the only player off the bench for the Clippers that scored in double figures. Everybody else didn't play coach's decision, and one guy that we know is already injured, so he doesn't count because he was already ruled out before the game started. 45 of 93, 48% from the field, 12 of 35, 34%. That's about average. 17 of 21, 81% from the free throw line. They did have 48 rebounds, 27 assists, 8 steals, 8 blocks, 14 turnovers, 22 personal fouls. And that was the game of how the Suns was able to come all the way back by almost 20 below and still build themselves back up to face that insurmountable possible lead that they had to try to win through, and they got it done. This is what the Suns have done. They get hot. And once they get hot and once them tough shots are falling and once they're moving the ball, once they're passing the ball up the court to get the defense on their heels so they can go for blow-bys or go for mid-ranges and go for pull-up threes, they're a tough team to stay in front of, and they're a tough team to guard because of the length, the size, the footwork, and the handles and the craftiness that the players on the Suns have. And then they got guys like Grayson and Royce that can hit wide open threes, and then their stars can do it too. Or they can put the ball on the floor and get to a mid range, get to the free throw line, or get all the way to the basket, or hit a floater. And there's nothing you can really do but force them to pick what they want to do. And it's just like we used to say back in the day when I was growing up in hooping, pick your poison. You got to live with something. You got to give up something, and you rather just give up the three. But when they hitting threes like they hit tonight, you can't really complain because that's kind of what you have to do. I'd rather you take long threes because it's the longest, toughest shot in the game. But as the game evolved to the modern era where everybody can shoot off the dribble, everybody can shoot threes, including the players on the bench, there's nothing you can do. Like Royce O'Neal came off the bench and got 21. You know what I'm saying? Norman Powell usually doesn't even start. He's going for 20 plus and knocking in threes. And teams are living with the threes. The coaches are fine with them shooting the threes, even if they're tough, even if they're step backs, even if they from 30. Teams are cool with doing it. And I was a player that used to do the same. If you leave me a little bit of space, a little bit of room, I know how to hit that shot. And now you see, I played in the 2010s, and now it's 2020. Mostly everybody's hitting those 3 point shots, and they pulling the with a quick trigger and letting that thing fly. You know, from three and from mid range is dying in the game. Now you seeing more guys take it because they're forcing you to. Some teams rather force you off the 3 point line and force you to dribble because it causes turnovers, it causes bad passes, it causes you to panic because of the pressure. But you still have a chance to be able to hit the mid range or the floater or get all the way to the basket and finish. Some teams still using that as their blueprint to score if they can't get the three or they don't want to die by the three. But you got to pick what you really want to do. And that's how the Suns were struggling in the beginning of the game. But once they was able to get their shots to fall, once they was able to get their perimeter shots to go, it was basically finito for the Los Angeles Clippers. And the Clippers never was known as a great defensive team, and they have been a midi type of offensive team. And it's mainly because they just this is what they are and this is how they construct it, and they play the way that they should, and they're relying on the right guys. I mean, it was almost there. They just couldn't get over that hump once they surrendered the lead. And the Suns, you got to give them credit for coming back, not making excuses, not whining and complaining that things wasn't going their way. They fixed what they had to fix. They shot the shots they needed to shoot. They ran when they had to run, and they took advantage of semi-transition in general. And they got good shots and good looks and was able to knock them down. And that's what you're supposed to do, especially when you're trailing and trying to get back in the game. And if that blueprint is working, why not just do it for the rest of the game like they ended up doing and they come out victorious? So it is nothing really to learn about this game besides the Clippers play-in type of team. The Suns should be top six again, just based off talent. And they play based off talent for the most part. Tyus Jones just make it easier to get into their shots and easier to score because of the spacing and the backpedaling that the defenders have to go through, which gets them off balance, which gives these skilled guys the ability to have their first step and make them have more decisions on how they want to score after they get the ball in their hands. And it just gives them more options. And since these guys are good all over the court, it just makes it easier for them to pick what's the option of how they want to score before they pass the ball again. And when they passing the ball again, they pass into guys that's capable of being hot from three because they're just catching and shooting guys, and they all can do that too, even on the bench. So it's a tough team to beat. Obviously, they've been like that. It just you have to take advantage of being up by how much you was up and take care of the ball better, shoot the ball better, and it just looks like the Clippers need another ball handler because you can't just rely on James Harden doing everything and still trying to score because James Harden never been the most efficient scorer. He never was the guy that took care of the ball at the best. And even if it's him carrying the majority of the load offensively, you need 3 to 4 guys to help you out on that 8 man, 10 man rotation. And if you don't got that, then something ain't right. The way the Clippers are currently constructed, it really doesn't make full sense. But you can understand why teams wouldn't want to play with the Clippers because you don't want to wait on Kawhi Leonard, who's always questionable to play, and then that's the best player on the team. And now you just basically playing like a playing team or a retooling team, which means you're good enough to be in the conversation to make the playoffs, but not good enough to make a run for a championship. And that's the reality that the Clippers been in for 3 years. If Kawhi Leonard's not healthy and he's not going to play, who are we going to rely on offensively? How are we going to play defense when he takes up so much of the cap and doesn't even play really even half the games most of the time when you include the playoffs especially. He's not even making playoff games anymore for the last couple of years. And if that's going to be the way that the team is going to be constructed, nobody really wants to go there because they can just go to another contender and have more success than going to a team like the Clippers, which is not guaranteed success, and nobody really has guaranteed success. They just have more chances of have showing their work that they actually been a better team over the years of that course. And the Clippers, once Paul George left, once Russ left, and the other guys started leaving, it's like I don't blame them. And I'm a Kawhi Leonard guy. and I like what he brings to the table, and I like what he did last year. But if you're going to play that many games and just not play the playoffs anyway, it was all worthless. Honestly, they brought Kawhi Leonard in to be able to win a championship, not to be a playing team, not to be a playoff team, and that's it. They wanted to bring Kawhi Leonard in to change their culture, to build their culture, to brand their culture, and to win them their first title in franchise history. And that's why they also wanted to go to their own arena, because they feel like they're turning in the right direction, just like when they made Lob City and then it turned into the Kawhi Leonard team. Now the Clippers are a place that people actually want to go, especially when they got their own arena and they're starting to build their own identity as an organization and trying to get more respect around the league. That was supposed to turn them all the way around when they got Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, and it just crumbled and failed. And now you're just left with the aftermath of what happened in the Clippers. So it's sad, it's unfortunate, and everybody got to go through a rebuild. Everybody got to go to a retool. It just depends on what you can do with Kawhi. And at this point, he's untradeable, and you basically have to keep him because nobody wants to trade for a superstar that can't play even 50 games sometimes, which is unfortunate. But it's a reality that the Clippers have to deal with each and every time they go out there, that their best player and their franchise player isn't available. But there's nothing they can really do at this point but try to get him as ready as they can, and hopefully he can get as healthy as he can and play the best years to come in the next two. If not, then James Harden wasted 2 years of his career playing with the Clippers, trying to find a way to win a title when he could have just went to a different team that probably was interested in just giving him a smaller role than what he's getting right now with the Clippers, which actually could benefit him because that's how Reggie Jackson and other guys been able to win them. You can still play the same game. You can still play your same style. We just don't need you to do it as much. And we don't really need you to do it as much on a proper team. And he just had to do a little bit of adjusting and a little bit of adapting, and it probably would have worked out for him. But it is how it goes when you're a competitor and you're one of the greatest players ever. Obviously, James Harden top 75, and so is Kawhi Leonard. And Paul George probably top 100 once they do that. So we just got to see how this thing plays out in the next 2 years for the Clippers. Comment, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell for more analysis. If you're new to the channel, I do various videos just like this and different type of videos with this type of style. I also do breakdowns of legends, players, and rookies, and I do that basically on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, yearly basis, and I'm the most consistent uploader on YouTube and the biggest analyst in the game, and I'm the guy that got analysis popping around the world. But I also would say if you already been a fan of the channel, you got busy, you missed some content, you missed some type of videos that you wanted to see, well, I'm just giving you a reminder to check back frequently because I upload a lot and you might get behind. You might need to stay on. Notification bell does that for you. And if you can't do it because you're busy because of that, I'm just telling you, still check. Don't forget, I need you. You need me. You like watching. I like making. That's the win-win. That's the right way to think about it. And I'll be back hopefully today with more content. And we'll see how November starts for the NBA.